6-hour nap and a call to practice. All right, I remind everyone to remain seated at all times with their hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle. Supervised children. Now, if you want to wave at the people on the docks, you can. You'll never see them again. We never saw them before, so it's fine. Well, we're going to begin our epic jungle adventure here today on the Amazon River. I'm your skipper. My name is Jason. And before you ask me, no, I did not escape a game called Jumanji. This looks like this normally. Well, here on the Amazon River, boat orientation. I forgot to do boat orientation. All right, we're going to do a quick form of that. If you look up, that is the top of the boat. If you look down, that is the bottom of the boat. If at any point they switch, swim. If you don't know how to swim, take a deep breath, sink to the bottom, and then run. Boat orientation for a day. We're on the Amazon, and it rains a lot. But the nice thing is you get some beautiful waterfalls like that one. That is inspirational. Now they say if you look at that long enough, you will be inspired to say, ooh. To say, to say happy birthday. Well, that's so cool. I didn't know you guys knew it was my birthday today. All right, cool. Now I'm going to wish me happy birthday. It's really nice. Well, now we're going to change not only rivers but continents due to my poor abilities with a map. Welcome to the Congo. We're up ahead. We have a nice party planned out. There's going to be some food. There's going to be some music. There's going to be nobody on the beach.
Guys, where'd you guys go? You're like, here. Here's where it's supposed to be.
Wow, I apologize. The only one fishing. Well, at least if you look up ahead, you'll see my buddy Bo hanging around. Now, fun fact about Bo, he gives out the best squeezy hugs in the jungle. Well, if you heard that sound, that is a research and development team hard at work. That's right. That's not only our R&D department, that's our shipping and handling department.
That's my Jeep. That's my... You see what they did to my Jeep?
They painted a teal.
I said, look at that with the teal Jeep.
Side note, does anybody want a teal Jeep all of a sudden? No? All right, we're going to be moving on to denial. No, denial. That is right. You were on the Nile. I live in denial. Well, if you look up ahead, you will see an African elephant. Now, the fun fact about the African elephant, of all the animals in the jungle, it has the most amazing, I can't remember what it is, most amazing trunk space in the animal kingdom. Yeah, that sounds like an actual fact and not something I actually just made up. But if you know what that is? That is sandstone. Yeah. You know, a lot of people take that for granted. Yeah, it's one of our older attractions. The animals. I should probably point out some of the animals since you're here on the cruise. If you look over there, you'll see some bearded reindeer. It's a really tall reindeer behind the bearded reindeer. You look up there on the hill, you will see some striped or referee reindeer. And we have one of them is taking a nap. Yeah, taking a nap surrounded by loved ones. Yeah, that's what it is. He's okay.
Wait, I hope that one's actually good.
Well, if you look up ahead, you will see Skipper Felix and his entire crew having a tree climbing contest with a little motivational help from their friends, the hyenas. Yes, that is right, folks. Sometimes motivation finds you. Well, there are a lot of amazing creatures around every corner of these jungles, like that duck right ahead of us. And Mr. and Mrs. Frost on our right or starboard side of the vessel. That's right, that's Mr. and Mrs. Frost over there. They're quite a lovely couple during the day, but be very careful at night because frost bites. Well, if you look up ahead, you will see me right here. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good myself. I got a boat with passengers, like somebody's oversight for sure. Behind me though, you see Schweitzer Falls, named after Western founder Dr. Albert. That is also referred to as the front side of water. And don't worry if you missed it, we're going to be going over it later. Well, I gotta be honest, I've not always been a skipper. That's right, at one point I tried my hand at being a pilot. That career just never took off though. Yeah, it kind of came to a sudden end one day and now, oh no, I just kind of wing it. Well, up ahead we're going to be entering a cool, not iguanodons. They're not tarantulas, but they do pop. Oh yeah, hungry hippos. And someone who thought we still offered them submarine cruises. We actually never offered the submarine cruises. offering a half-off Jungle Cruise. If you happen to be interested in our half-off cruise, well, here is our half-off cruise, complete with a crew that comes with it. Yeah, believe it or not, those guys are musicians. That's right, they just started a band. They call themselves the Scorpions. Well, recently we acquired a couple of crates of butterflies, and we've been keeping a close eye on them to make sure those butterflies are safe. And like I said, we got a couple extra monkeys, and they're well fed. Oh, here it is! The moment you all waited for! The escape wonder of the world! The best ride! That always amazes me, inspires me. I feel like I see it a lot, like every 10 minutes or so. Well, up ahead, we're going to be entering the Mekong River, where we believe we've discovered a secret entrance to this most definitely not cursed or haunted devil behind me. That's right. Oh, that's creepy. I mean, that looks like an exciting adventure. Who wants to try it? I hope one of you does is I can't turn the boat around.
But don't worry, we should be fine. Partially okay. Maybe okay. I'm not sure. You know, I should look where we're going.
All right, that was scary, but I think we both survived. Raise your hand if you're not here. You know, Jungle Cruise pays me for the people I bring back. The mansion pays me for the ones I don't. And before you ask me, yes, it's the mansion that pays me more. Well, here we are now, surrounded by Indian elephants. I guess I should point some of them out. That one over there on the right, that is Frankie. To Frankie's left, you will see Frankie. All right, on the other side, if you look starting from the back, that's Frankie. And then you have Frankie over there. That's Frankie right over there. And that's Frankie. And if you look over there under the waterfall, playing so peacefully, that's right. That's Rosie. And if you look over here on your right, you'll see 12 is playing under a full moon.
Not you either, Frankie. But I see you from here.
Well, what better way than to end our epic jungle adventure than back on the Amazon River where we started? With a gift shop. And a traffic jam, of course, that's common theme right here too. But if you take a look up there on your left, you will see Trader Sam's. It's actually not only our gift shop, it's our lost and found. So when we get closer to it, if you want to take a look, you might find something for a friend, for a loved one, or anything you lost 2 hours ago. Well, we do have a couple extra moments. I guess I should probably point out our sponsor, something I was supposed to do about 10 minutes ago. Well, here it is. Jungle Cruise, sponsored by Continuous Education. Remember, kids, go to college, otherwise you wind up on a boat in the jungle. And Miracle Engine, where if you made it this far, it is probably a miracle. First, kids, if you actually want to end up on a boat in the jungle, it's a sports management degree. That's right, 4 of us have them. You're looking at one right now. All right, well, I guess we have an opportunity now to point out some of the things that Trader Sam's has available today. Well, there's a record player, quite a popular choice. There is a duffel bag. That is